Welcome back to my channel. Let's do a quick life update. The last video I posted on Wednesday, I told you guys my mom was gonna go and have surgery and have her battery and her pacemaker replaced. And so I told you I'll let you know how the surgery went. So the surgery went well, it went great. She's doing much better. I ended up being the one to take her to the hospital. They actually called her the night before and said she needed to be there at 7:15. I live in Houston area. I don't actually live in Houston, but in the Houston area. And so I had to take her to the medical center downtown. And so we were like, oh, traffic's gonna be bad. So I ended up leaving my house around 5:15 or so, maybe a little earlier, and then get into my mom's house at 5:30. We ended up not hitting any traffic. I was like, I feel like traffic will start for like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock shifts, but maybe 7 will be okay. We ended up not hitting any traffic, so we actually reached downtown at the hospital at 6:20. But she was like, you guys can go back home. So Adrian and I ended up going back home, just taking a nap for a couple of hours. But we couldn't fall asleep, but we ended up being at home. I think we made it home at 7, well, 6:59, whatever. And then we were there till 9, and then we left, got some breakfast, and then went to the hospital. I think we made it to her tower at 10:15, which was when surgery was supposed to start. But I did text her, letting her know, like, hey, I'm back, I'm in the hospital, and I'm just gonna sit through your surgery. And so she was like, oh, I'm actually not even in the OR yet, like, they haven't even taken me back. And I was like, oh, I thought it was supposed to start at 10:15. Sorry, I'm thirsty. And so we ended up sitting in the waiting room for about 45 minutes or an hour or so, and then they came, got us, and brought us back. So I was like, oh, her surgery's over already? Great. So I was like excited to see her. Turns out she hadn't even gone in yet. It was just taking us to the prep room. And so we were just chilling with her, talking, and it wasn't until 12:15 that they came, got her. So the surgery was 2 hours behind. So they got her 12:15 to go to the OR. In that time, I had met with her doctor, I had met with her anesthesiologist and her nurse. So I had met her team that was gonna be with her. And so, at 12:15 she went off. And then I was in the lobby and they had my number. So I was getting text updates. And so her actual surgery didn't start until 12:45. And it was supposed to be a 45-minute surgery. It went a little over an hour, which is fine. I'm assuming, just like waking her up. And then I got a text it was over. Then I got another text that she was in the PACU. Between the text from when her procedure was over to the text that she was in the PACU, I asked the front desk receptionist, let her know, hey, I got the text, can I go back to her room? And she was like, no, the doctor is gonna come out and talk to you. And so then my anxiety started like going and going, because I was like, are they gonna talk to me because something went wrong during surgery, or are they just gonna tell me what they did? And so I was like freaking out. And at this point it's like 1:50 something. I sat there till about 2:30, and then she came back, the receptionist came, and she was like, I'm so sorry, the doctor got pulled into another surgery, so I'll actually just take you back to see your mom. So I went back in the room and my mom was fine. She was like coming out of surgery. She was obviously groggy. She was, at first she wasn't talking, but then she started eventually talking. And so she said, like, once the anesthesia, like once they woke her up, like she was telling them like, oh, get my daughter, get my daughter. But she couldn't like vocalize it. So she was trying to tell them like, get my daughter. But yeah, everything went well. We did eventually speak to the surgeon. He did come talk to us again, even though my mom was trying to. She told the nurse that she didn't need to wait to talk to the doctor, or I didn't need to wait to the doctor. He could just text us. She was ready to go because she's hungry. She's been here all day. At this point now, it's like 2 something leading into 3. And my mom's a nurse, and I don't know if all nurses do this, but I feel like when nurses get in hospitals, they still don't know how to patient. They still try to nurse, you know? And so she told the nurse, she's a nurse, she knows like if she wasn't feeling well, she would vocalize it. And the nurse was like, no, I'm the same way. She was like, so I understand. So the nurse was gonna try to let us go without talking to the doctor, but the doctor was like, no, don't let him leave until they speak to me. So we spoke to the doctor. Everything was good. She got, instead of replacing the battery in her old pacemaker, they just gave her a newer one. So it's thinner but wider. So the pocket, the incision and the pocket that they had is a lot bigger now. So it's gonna be like more sore. She's doing good. She can't pick up anything bigger than 10 pounds. So I already yelled at her. My husband yelled at her. We were like, that means if you happen to see your grandkids, which I'm probably just not gonna send my daughter to her house, obviously, even though she'll be healed up before a month. But she can't pick up 10 pounds for a whole month. So we're like, no picking up the grandkids. I was like, first of all, you shouldn't be picking up my daughter. She's way too big. I don't even pick her up. But the other grandkids, my nieces, I pick them up, but they are obviously heavier than 10 pounds. So I was like, you need to listen. And her and my husband was going at it all day in the hospital. Them two are like two peas in a pod. They cray. We already yelled at her that she can't be lifting nothing. But anyway, just wanted to give y'all an update. She is doing great. I'm actually about to head to her house right now, spend a day with her and just make sure she's okay. I will do just a quick update on what I've read, just because I know you guys like knowing what I read. And so I read The Other Mistress by Shanora Williams. This one follows a wife who finds out her husband is cheating on her, and while trying to figure out whether she's gonna confront the mistress or not, she ends up discovering that there is a second one. So she gets with one of the mistress to take out the other one. This was, you know, unhinged characters. It was fast paced. It was engaging. I wish it was more absurdity happening, actually. I wish she did more crazy things, you know, like to scare off the other mistress and like it'd be more daunting and scary and be like, girl, what are you doing? That to me felt like it didn't happen till later in the book. But overall, I had a fun time reading this. I really like Shanora's writing. I've read 2 other books by her and I enjoy those as well. And so I enjoy this and I would recommend it if you like unhinged characters and fast-paced thrillers. She actually considers herself, I think she's spoken about herself and said she writes popcorn thrillers. I don't want to misspeak, but I feel like she's uttered those words out of her mouth. So if you like popcorn thrillers, you would like Shanora. I also read The Secret Next Door by Rebecca Taylor. Follows Allison, who just moved into the neighborhood. It's a neighborhood that they can't necessarily afford like the other people within the neighborhood. They don't have the same means as the other families, but she starts like becoming friends with the family. Something happens to one of the kids in the neighborhood. It's almost like the neighborhood becomes divided. And so I also wanted more out of this as well. I felt like for a lot of the book, it was just kind of like flat. We were just watching Allison's mental dilemma with her own relationship. She was having relationship problems with her husband. And I was like, you're feeling this way, and he's obviously feeling some type of way, but neither of you are willing to communicate. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's something about 2 adults not knowing how to communicate that will never sit right with me. I'm like, please just tell him, like, hey, what's going on? I'm feeling this way. Like, you know, is it a me problem? Is it a you problem? Is it an us problem? And so for a lot of the book, I felt like we were just dealing with her internal struggles with her relationship rather than the neighborhood secret. And so, but it was good. I ended up not seeing the plot twist happening, but overall, not a bad read. It was also fast-paced as well. And so if you like neighborhood secrets, sure. That's all the talking I wanted to do today. I'm actually just gonna head on out right now. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy reading. Bye.